Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Jessica. I've been getting asked about this hairstyle a lot. I've been wearing it in my videos, and a lot of you have asked me to do a tutorial, so that's what I'm doing for you today. I'm going to show you how I get this. It's super easy and really fast, so hopefully I explained it good enough for you that you can try and recreate it. And if you do get it down and you want to send me a picture on Instagram, I would love to see it on you guys. But anyways, I'm going to just go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I do is I take just a clip and I section it off into two sections. If you have thick hair, you might have to do more. I don't know because I don't have thick hair. But I only have to do two sections. So I just section off the top and then I curl this first. And I just realized that I was planning on using my viewfinder to do this, I guess. I forgot a mirror, so I'll be right back. I got my mirror, so I'm just gonna start curling. So what I use is this Conair curling wand. It says U Curl. I'll link it for you in the description. I like the thicker one if you want more wavy, loose curls. And then I have the red one, which is smaller if you want tighter curls. But this is what I'm using. I think it's like $30 and it is like tapered at the end and it does a really good job. So this is what I'm using. So I'm gonna take about an inch size section, and I always curl the sections that are by my face away from my face. And then I just hold for like a split second because I do have really thin hair. And then you can kind of tug it a little to like loosen so it's not so tight. And then for the next section, you're gonna curl it in the opposite direction. And what this does is it helps to define the waves. If you curl them all in the same direction, they'll kind of blend together and it's fine. It looks really pretty. I do it that way sometimes, but if you want them to be more defined and more like beachy, I would do every other way. So for this one, I'm going to curl. I'm going to hit my face self. For this one, I'm going to curl the opposite way, which is always a little bit harder for me for some reason. Okay. So I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to speed this up.
About to leave, already packing, come with me, I'm not really asking, we'll get away to a place where we don't know.
Okay, so now on this side, again, I'm going to take about an inch and I'm going to curl this one away from my face.
Distractions, we'll get away, this is what we waited for.
And this one I'm curling towards my face, or the opposite way. It's so much easier for me to do the top layers for some reason than it is to do the bottom, but the bottom layer isn't as important because you won't see it as much. Layer is curled. I'm gonna do the same thing on the top. It doesn't really matter where you part your hair because you're gonna just be pulling it back, but I'm just gonna do it down the center and make it easier to find the sections that I need. Also notice I'm holding a little tiny piece of the end of the hair out of the curling iron. I'm not wrapping it entirely around. That helps to give it the wavy, the beachy waves rather than like a tight curl. So I'll show you on this one. So this one I'm going in the opposite direction and I'm leaving out just this small piece. I don't know if you can see. That way when you see It might look kind of funky now, but I promise it will all look good in the end. I also like to try to get as close to my scalp as possible without burning myself, just because it gives it some volume. So I'm just very lightly tugging down, not hard. Okay, almost done. One benefit of having really thin, fine hair is it doesn't take very long to style it. I'm pulling about 10 seconds depending on the size of the strand that I pull. If I get a really thin strand, I won't, see, like I missed this little strand, so I'm gonna do it really quick. I'm gonna do it the opposite way. So I basically just wrap it and then let go because it's so, and it curled. But like if I'm grabbing more hair, like a thicker section, I'll leave it on a little longer. Usually 10 seconds is about the max, and then for a smaller piece, I might do like 5 seconds. 10 seconds usually does. And sometimes I will hold the curl up here for just like a few seconds so that it will cool down. I don't know if that does anything or not, but I do that. I'm used to having the mirror directly in front of me, not looking off to the side, so it's a little awkward. Okay. So at this point, I'm just gonna go through, look and make sure I didn't miss any strands. You can take a mirror and look in the back. I usually, what I'll do is I'll kind of just take and pull the crown part of my hair back. And then even if it has curls in it, like this clearly has, I got those pieces, but I wanna make sure that it's going straight back. So sometimes I will just curl it again as one piece. And I do it under, if that makes sense. So over and under, because on the sides I was going, I'll show you. So on the sides I've got it upside down like this, but back here I've just got it straight across. And as you can see, it gives me some volume right there. So next I'm just gonna run my fingers through what I curled and break them up. Now I'm going to use my Big Sexy Hair Powder Play Light, and this is what it looks like. I don't know if it'll focus on it. There, so you guys can see close up. It's just a tiny little bottle, and it's powder for your hair. If you've never heard of this stuff, it's amazing, especially for girls that have really thin hair because it kind of adds some texture and some grit. I love this product. They have a whole bunch of different brands that carry it, but I do like this one in particular because it has the pump, so it kind of puffs out versus some of them just shake onto your scalp, and those can be a real mess. All right, so what I do with this is I lift some of the sections on the top of my hair like this, and I'll just put a tiny, like a half pump in that, and then I go underneath and I kind of rub it in, and it gives me so much volume. I'll show you on this side when I'm done versus this side. So I might put a little bit more in the back. I might go under a little bit more. You've got to be really easy with it. You don't want to put too much. So as you can see, that's what it does. It's quite amazing. And as the day goes on, your hair may start to fall a little, but if you just go under and poof it up again, it will go right back to the way that it was. So I love this stuff so much. Okay, so now for the top part, the little bun that I've been doing. Because I have such fine, thin hair, I have to use a little elastic like this. This is actually my daughter's. I use hers, and they are not good for your hair. So it really sucks, but if you have thicker hair, definitely use a regular elastic. But because my hair is so thin, that I can't do this hairstyle with a regular elastic. I have to use one of these. So I have actually been when it's time to take this hairstyle out at night, I've actually been very carefully taking it and pulling it away from my hair and taking the scissors and just cutting it off rather than trying to get my hair back out of it, because I've noticed that it causes a lot of breakage and you really don't want to break your hair at all, but especially when you have really thin hair. So just letting you guys know, it sucks. If somebody knows a better alternative for girls with really thin hair, let me know in the comments, but for now, that's what I've been using. I'm gonna take like from the arch of my brows, kind of take my fingers and pull back, and that's like the hair that I want to do. So I'll grab it and then I'll grab my brush and kind of brush it back and then pull out any hairs that got up in there that don't need to be. It's really not a lot of hair because I don't have much hair. If you have thick hair, you will be pulling a lot more into this, but I don't. So now I have this sectioned off. Here, let me sit down a little. I'm on the floor, you guys, and I'm sitting on my feet, so hopefully you can see. Okay, so that's the amount of hair I have. I'm going to take my elastic. I'm going to try to explain this right the first time. So you're going to start like you're doing a regular ponytail. Just going to, like you're making a regular. But, okay, so this is the last one I'm going to do. So I'm pulling it through like I'm going to do a ponytail. But I'm going to stop halfway. I'm not going to pull it all the way through, okay? So this is what it looks like. Hopefully you can see that. It looks kind of silly. And then I'm going to pull from right here by the hair tie and pull it tight. Now, as you can see, that kind of poofed that up a little bit, which is good. That's what you want. And then you're going to pull the hair that's left out of it, which would have been the hair that you'd had, try to explain this. The hair that you would have pulled all the way through is still there, so you just want to kind of straighten it, make sure it's like going down and not all crazy. And then you can mess with this a little. You can pull a little bit more out if you need or whatever. And you can also take some hairs here and pull out so that you get a little bit more volume here if you need. You can make this a little bit bigger and puffier if you want it. Yeah, that's basically all I do, and then I'll probably take some hairspray and spray it through. I don't really need it, but I like to use hairspray anyways, but that's pretty much how I do this hairstyle. It's really easy and it's really quick, and these waves last me for days, so I could do this hairstyle again over and over if I wanted to. Thank you guys so much for requesting this tutorial. It makes me happy to see that you like my hair. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distraction.